there, J's, Zero Palmentarians here, opening Q&A number 20! I asked you guys to tweet me your questions using hashtag AskJugger, and you guys delivered the goods. I've chosen 20 questions for this special occasion, and guys, I hope you enjoy this, because I'm taking the time to do a Q&A video when I probably should be fucking looking for more jobs. I have what, three whole days? I don't know what the 31st is really going to consist of. I don't know if I need it by that day or I need it by April 1st. I have no idea, but time's ticking away and I'm freaking the fuck out. But at the same time, I'm not as concerned as you might think, and I'll get to that in some of these questions. Let's kick it off. Chaz asks, how do you feel about Jeffrey moving out? A lot of people ask this question or something about Jeffrey moving out, and really when he first told me, I was in shock. It was gonna happen eventually. Jeffrey was not gonna live here forever, I don't think. And I mean, the fact that I was moving out before he was, I always found that odd. However, when he told me in the woods, it was just, I mean, first of all, Jeffrey, your timing sucks. And second of all, like, I don't want him to leave. As weird as that sounds, you know, after all of me and Jeffrey's fucking history, I do not want him to leave. It is selfish because I just don't want to be in the house with my dad. Just me and him and John and Luna. At least I have the two dogs. He had actually moved out a couple years ago and he took Ella with him, and I did this video called Ella's Goodbye. I encourage you guys to watch that. But that's just also sad. I don't know. You know, if it'll make him happy, whatever. It just sucks. Next question, do you drink beer and how long were you hiding it from your dad for the hunt? I think at least a week and a half, 2 weeks. I don't remember the exact time that I came up with the idea, but I knew, I was like, wait, shit, Easter's in March. And then I just had this funny idea. I saw something on Facebook where they did a beer hunt, and I was like, yo, I'm gonna do that to my dad, this would be hilarious. He definitely had a bit of an overreaction, but then again, I'm not really surprised by that. Oh, and the first question you asked, no, I do not drink beer. However, I used to. It was, and I did a whole Q&A dedicated to this topic, do I drink? Go back into the old Q&As and watch it, it's pretty good. But ever since I got my brain injury 2 years ago, actually over 2 years ago, I stopped drinking. So I've been sober ever since, but before that I used to drink. What position did you used to play in soccer and who was your favorite player? I'm glad he actually said soccer and not football, because that would have confused the shit out of me. I used to play defense, a position known as sweeper. This is the last line of defense before the goalie. I used to have I still do, I have a fucking leg on me. Oh, booty, yo, I think I had 3 goals one season. That's as the last line of defense, I had 3 goals. That was just from literally doing these epic launches from the half. I miss soccer dearly, and my fucking spleen, I just wish that was healed so I could kind of just like kick the ball around outside, but I don't really have a favorite player actually. I know that's lame, but I don't watch soccer too much. I guess that answers your question. Ari, I think it's pronounced, asked, why would you set out to kill a deer? Why would you? Why? Trust me, I did not want to do that. The only reason I went was to make my dad happy. I didn't really have a choice in it. And I don't know, I love animals. I just love things that have life. I love insects, kind of. Like, I don't want to go out of my way. I mean, I love Peter the Fly like a fucking brother, like a son. I wouldn't want to kill a fly. Like it's living. How would I feel if a giant hand, like the hand of God, just came down and squashed me? I'd be pretty upset about, well, I wouldn't have any feelings at that point, I'd be dead. So like, I never wanted to kill a deer, you know. They do piss me off though, because I've almost run into, I did have one instance just like a couple weeks ago where me and Juliet almost collided with a deer on the road and probably would have ended our lives, so for that I would have been pissed off. So let's just call it was a revenge thing. No, I never wanted to kill anything. First of all, I thought the gun was a fucking pellet gun. I didn't know it was a real gun. It makes sense. I thought my dad handed me a pellet gun because that's what he trusted me with and he knew I didn't want to kill anything. Then I found out it was legit, and then, you know, I was just gonna walk in through the woods and just whatever, like, let's get this over with so I can go back to hopefully finding myself a job. However, then when I looked into the woods and I saw that deer, dude, I could have sworn it was real. Like, you should have like seen like how it was there in the woods. It looked like it was eating the brush or some shit. It was probably one of the hardest things I had to do in my life, because I told it I didn't want to kill anything. It took a lot for me to pull the trigger and shoot that fucking fake deer, but there was a lot of things going through my mind at that point. Like, before I shot, I was just thinking, like, I was just trying to rationalize in my head. I was like, oh, you know, this deer, you know, I could eat this deer. If I eat this deer, I eat meat, I eat burgers and steak and chicken, somebody had to kill those animals for me to eat that, so technically I might as well have just killed it myself. So I was like, okay, if I kill this deer, and then I was also thinking like, yo, if I actually shot this deer, my dad would be so ecstatic that I did this. He would be so happy and proud of me. And he was proud of me, even though it wasn't even a real deer. That and I may have channeled a lot of aggressions into firing that shot, but hey, do whatever you gotta do to relieve that stress. I hope we can still be friends, alright? I'm sorry. Faith asked, would you ever consider babysitting for Joe again? Yes, definitely. This would not be my job. I don't think my dad would respect it, and I wouldn't be able to have the camera around there, or so he says. I don't know. I think maybe I could keep convincing him. I don't know. He seemed really uncomfortable with it. I don't want to force it. But yeah, it could be a nice side gig if I need some money and you know, he really needs somebody because he's got to go out with his woman or something. I think they have a third kid coming. So, you know, if he needs a babysitter, I'd love to help him out. You get some good money, especially for just playing Wii with the kids. It's awesome. Agent Android asks, are you planning anything for April Fool's Day? Huge fan of April Fool's Day, and just considering I did a prank on my dad for Easter, I gotta do something, but at the same time, it's probably not the best idea, and I'll tell you why. It's because, like, that's the day after the 31st, and I don't know what's gonna happen on that day if I just don't have something secured. It could, and just how the Easter prank was, he freaked out. I may not risk anything. I may just kind of be low-key joking, maybe do something on Jeffrey, but aside from that, I don't really have any plans. It's probably best that I don't. Infamous Gamer asks, how's your medical mystery? Well, man, it's still definitely feeling like a thing. I'm convinced it's a hernia. It's actually something I can push back in and manipulate. I found the hole. Like, I found the hole where I can push it in, so I take the lump and I just push it right into this hole, and it's good for all of 5 seconds, and then it pops right out like a piece of my intestine or muscle or something. I actually am scheduling an appointment probably today with a place called the Hernia Institute, so things are looking up, kind of, but not really. Everything else is falling flat on its face. Aaron asks, what is the worst part about finding a job? I'll be honest, the whole process sucks dick. Like, building a resume is annoying as shit. It feels like you're doing a school report. Not only that, but the whole motivation to do it is pretty much non-existent because you're getting a job. You're getting a job. I mean, that's gonna suck up all your free time. You're not gonna have any fun. It's gonna suck the life out of you. So you have no motivation, you don't want to do a resume. Once you do, you're gonna find that you don't have much shit on there. I've been filing applications like it's nobody's business. I'm talking all online. Hardly anybody does it like person to person anymore. So I'm just clicking buttons and hoping for the best. Nothing's really happening. Then easily, this is probably the worst part. I know I'm kind of going over the whole process, but the absolute worst part has got to be when you think you have something lined up and then it just gets ripped right out from under you. Like pretty much with some of the jobs I've been on, and then, oh, guess what, never mind. You get your expectations so high and you're like, yo, I'm gonna be working here, I'm making this much, and you get used to the idea, you start to see yourself working there, and then suddenly the boss or whoever is just like, yeah, never mind, or we're sorry, we're not interested, or we're not hiring, and then it's like, well, what the Yes, it's a lot of fun. This has inspired me. I gotta do a hate comments video pretty soon. That's funny. Why don't you just apply at GameStop or something like that? This is actually a question I've asked frequently on stream, and the answer is I have. I've also applied to other cool jobs, such as Regal Cinemas or AMC Theaters. See, I have a film degree. I love movies and stuff, so it would be cool to work in a movie theater. You get discounted flicks, and I think you can also see some for free because they're just, you know, slowly cleaning up the theater that, like, your favorite movie's playing. You just watch the whole thing and sit down and have somebody else's popcorn. But the thing is, with games like GameStop and the cinemas, it's like, of all these starter positions and part-time jobs you could have, those are some of the more popular ones because you get cool perks, and it's something a lot of people are interested in. I would love to work at GameStop. I have a huge knowledge of gaming. I have a lot of experience. I think I'd be really good there, but there's a lot of people that know gaming, and there's a lot of people that apply there. So it's hard to really stand out and then get that job. And then plus I wouldn't even be able to film there, I don't think. Immortal asks, why the fuck are you so awesome? I don't know, man. Some people are just born with that shit. Wesso asks, are you going to the beach again with Uncle Larry this year? Well, we're already going to VidCon. Me, Uncle Larry, Jeffrey, and Corn. I guess Jeffrey's still going. I guess he's just gonna meet us there or something, because he's not gonna be living in his house anymore. I guess it doesn't matter. Uncle Larry doesn't live in this house. But I think you're talking about the North Carolina trip that we did last year. That's actually been a recurring thing every year. It's kind of like a family thing. I don't know what's going on this year because, I mean, the family dynamic is very different now, and you know, my dad and Uncle Larry don't really get along, and you know, my mom's kind of separated at this point, and it's like I don't know. But for years past, that's been a thing. If it is a thing, regardless, you know, I'll have you guys with me, and I'll bring you with. But I don't know if that's gonna be a thing. Maybe I'll just ask Uncle Larry. Me and him want to go. Daniel asks, how many friends do you have in your lifetime in high school and college? Friends is a hard term to put a finger on. I like to consider, I have a lot of, I'll tell you how many friends I have. I have around 2.76 million friends. That's all you guys. Not for real. I consider a lot of you guys my friends. Just people I know offhand that are juggies. I know like at least over 1,000 by their first name and probably last name too, which is a fuck ton of people. They say you don't really know that many people, but like because of you guys, because of the nature of this, I do. High school and college. College, I didn't really talk to many people. I commuted, I drove to school, and I drove back home. That was it. I didn't really make friends. I wasn't really interested because I already had all my friends from high school who I really liked. I was kind of a recluse in college, really, which is probably a shame. I think I was just really not happy at college, so I wasn't really like, oh, let's be friends. I was pretty grumpy all the time, yeah. But all you guys are my friends. Evan says, I like your hair, don't cut it. Can I be please featured now? You win! Best way to a person's heart is with kindness and bacon. Bacon also helps, literally. What was the worst thing you did in high school? I saw a lot of questions asking what I was like in school. I got pretty good grades, like A's, B's. I maybe had 1 C, and that was in Alg 3 and Trig. The teacher was complete ass cheeks also, and you're dealing with the alphabeticals in the number system, which makes 0 sense. I never really got in trouble. I don't think I ever had to, well, no, I did have detention. No, there was only one time. Here's the worst thing I did in high school. It wasn't even in school either. I was on the bus. I'm always the first one onto the bus, aka like 7 in the morning, and then I'm the last one off, aka like 3:30 p.m. Absolute horse shit. That is the worst spot to be in. That's what you get when you're in East Bumblefuck. So on this one given day, it was snowing. There was snow accumulating on the ground. I thought we were gonna get off early, but we didn't. So the bus is going. The bus drops me off. Now it's me and like 2 other guys that are last people on the bus. My one neighbor at the time, his name was Chris. Now I don't remember what we were talking about specifically, but he was really getting on my nerves. Like he was busting my balls the whole time, and I was like, "Fuck you, dude." I didn't say that. I don't think I was really cursing that much then. So I'm getting off the bus, and there's all this snow on the ground. You know, the bus has to like open the door and shit, and then the arm comes down and around, and the little stop sign is like, comes out, and then I decide, you know what? Let me grab some snow, maybe have a bite. So I grabbed a handful of snow while the bus is doing that shit, and I'm like, oh shit, it's packing snow. And then I look on the bus, and my friend's doing some like face like making fun of me because he was just making fun of me when I got off, and I was like, yo, fuck this dude. So I made the snowball, packed that shit up. As the bus was pulling away, I just launched one, but I had a beautiful angle and I hit him. I didn't hit him in the face. It's not like the window was down, it was through the glass, but I hit right where his face was, and he backed up and was like, holy shit. The bus kept going, I was laughing my ass off. I get inside. I hop on AIM at the time. Yes, AIM, AOL Instant Messenger. And he's like, yo, dude, you're in huge trouble. And I'm like, fuck off, dude. I thought he was talking about like he's gonna beat my ass or something, because he was a upperclassman. And he was like, dude, you got written up after you got off the bus. And I was just like, haha, real funny, dude, way to scare me. And he was like, no, seriously, like, the bus driver wrote you up for throwing that snowball. And my heart sank. I was scared shitless. I was a good boy. I had never been written up before, and I was just like, no, he's kidding. I couldn't sleep that night. I was having young man anxiety, and then I got onto the bus, and she hands me a slip, and I'm like, what's this? She's like, you're not allowed to throw snowballs. And me and the bus driver were cool. I thought she was a cool lady, but she's just like, yeah, you're not allowed to throw snowballs on the bus or at the bus. You have detention. And I was like, what the fuck? Fuck you fucker! That was what was going through my head. I don't think I said that. I think I would have gotten perfect. I was definitely better at containing myself those days. And then I was in shock. And then my one friend had the nerve to be like cracking up when I had the slip. Dude, I so desperately wanted to slit his throat with the right up slip, but that was the worst thing I did in high school. And it wasn't even that bad. I should have never got written up that day. I'll never live it down. Cole asks, what do you think is going to happen if you don't find the job by the deadline? This is a question that I've been thinking about way too much. Here's what I think. I think I could work for my dad if I had to. I think I could say I'm very interested in working for you, Pops. I think it could be good, and I think that might work, even though I don't know if it necessarily adheres to the contract's wordiness, but I think he might like that. I don't think I'd be able to film it, but at least it avoids any consequences. Also, I might be able to get an extension if I talk about the farm job with Anthony. If I say, hey, you know, this farm job, you know, the season starts in like a week or so, he has a job for me, my dad might be like, okay, I'll give you one more week, you can work at this farm job. I think that could be a thing. Aside from that, I will not stop. I have 3 days, I'll be working hard, trying to find a job, and I think I can score one, or at least the promise of one, before the 31st. Favorite video that you've created? This is something I was just asked on the stream, and usually I don't have it. I hate favorite questions, and usually I don't have an answer for this, but I do now. It's a video called The Rise of RiDGiD Studios. I made it like maybe 2 or 3 years ago. And this was at a time where I only had a couple thousand subscribers. I was senior in college, and I couldn't deal with my dad anymore, so I ended up getting a job at the bank. And I was working at the bank for a couple months. Eventually, I just got so sick and tired of it that I took off my tie, I threw it down, and I said, you know what, fuck this. I'm not giving in to society or my father's demands. I'm going to pursue YouTube. It sounded crazy, but I didn't think so. I didn't think it was crazy. Everybody else thought I was crazy. I even told everyone at the bank, I was like, hey, I'm gonna be famous on YouTube. I'm gonna be big, and I'm gonna do what I love. And you know, I followed that. And I made the Rise of RiDGiD Studios video, and that was important for me, and I'm glad that I made that, because that showed that I was gonna be committed to this thing, and that I would not stop until I achieved my dreams. And if I had never done that, I don't think I would be here today. That was a big move. That was like one of those pivotal life decisions that I made, and I'm just so glad that I had the courage to take that leap. King J asks, why don't you sometimes just stand up to your dad? Also, how are the jobs coming? P.S. Your vids are awesome. Thanks, man. But to answer your question, dude, my whole life has been standing up to my dad. And then people will say, Jesse, just shut the fuck up and listen to your dad. Just shut up and listen to your dad. He knows what's best for you. And I would fight him to the death. I would fight him till he fucking, he's destroying all my shit. He's taking everything away that I love, that I want to do, and he's completely just ruining my life. And I was fighting for that. And that's how I ended up getting kicked out of the house. Or that's how I ended up getting this destroyed or that destroyed. I was not giving up. However, as soon as I finally start giving in to my dad, everybody's like, Jesse, why don't you stand up for yourself? Why don't you stand up to your dad? That's what I've been doing, and the reason I stopped is because it was not making my life any easier. It was making it worse. So why do I give in to my dad now? Although it kills me a little bit inside, it's a small sacrifice that I have to make so that I can live in this house and be a little bit better off. That's something I learned kind of the hard way, is just that if I'm going to be living under his roof, I have to live by his rules. So if he wants me to do something, I'm going to have to do it even if I don't like it, which sucks. But I figured if I can do this, if I can just deal with it for the next few months, have enough money, and get out of here once and for all will be well. So yeah, that's why if you see me just like kind of like biting my tongue, like, okay, Dad, like, okay, yeah, sure, I'll go hunting with you. That's because if I was to argue with him, it would be much worse for me. And I don't know, maybe you guys can take something from that. But what is your dream job? What is your dream job besides YouTube? Between you and I, there is nothing else. It is YouTube. It is YouTube. I love it. I love you guys. I love YouTube. I know it kind of defeats the purpose of the question, like, what is it besides YouTube? It's like, no, most people struggle their whole lives to find one dream, to find one thing that they really love to do and could do it their whole life. I have one of those, and usually you don't need a second, or you don't find a second. So YouTube is it for me. This is our last question. Gabrielle asks, why is your dad so miserable on Easter? I don't want to say too much about this question, but here's my thoughts on it. I think it just comes with This is actually kind of a hard question for me to answer. It's just holidays. Holidays without somebody who used to be in your life, it's not easy. Because you think about all the good times, all the memories that you had previous years on the holiday. And holiday's a time with loved ones and family. And with my mom not in the picture, you know, I think he was probably reminiscing and then thinking about the good times. I was thinking about last year, and like I said, I was like, I was in a fucking tent last year. So I'm enjoying this year. But, you know, I guess for him, he's miserable because it just, the holiday is not the same without the person you love. And yeah, I think that was it. Or he just is always pissed off. That could be a thing too. Alright guys, thank you so much for all your questions. Once again, this happens every single Monday, so you don't even have to see my prompt on Twitter. If you have a question for me at some point during this next week, tweet to me using hashtag AskJugger, ask me your question, and you could get featured. Congratulations to all you guys that got featured down here in this little section. I think that's super cool. Don't forget to subscribe for more content. Twitter, Instagram, links in the description. Drop a like on this video if you enjoyed it. I'm dead serious. Yes, I'm talking about you through the screen. Drop a motherfucking thumbs up, please. It helps me out. And guys, we're starting to pick up some pace, growing. I don't know what it is, but like, we've got the flow going. You guys are subscribing. It's amazing. It's beautiful. Thank you guys so much. Well, let's keep rocking it together. We're almost at 2.8 million subs, which means we're almost at 3 million. So let's kill it, guys. Let's fucking show my dad what's up. Love you, Joys, to death, and don't forget to keep it rigid. I don't know why I said it like that, but that all sounded cool. Whatever. Screw you guys.